Good afternoon. As our country faces countless threats to our liberties, one of our greatest American priorities must be the preservation of family freedoms. Freedom is a generational blessing, and unless we preserve our right to a relationship with our children, freedom cannot be passed on. That's why we want to encourage you to support the Parental Rights Amendment, a proposed constitutional amendment written to protect the traditional liberty of parents to direct the upbringing, education, and care of their children. Although our courts have traditionally recognized parental rights as an implicit constitutional right, parental rights are being assaulted by activist courts, overblown bureaucracies, and even the threat of international law. Our highest judges have made it clear unless the Constitution is amended to affirm parental rights explicitly, they will not stop the impending threats to American families. As a result, the Parental Rights Amendment has garnered support from parents of countless backgrounds throughout the USA. We urge you to show your support for the Parental Rights Amendment by visiting parentsrights.org to learn how you can get involved in a campaign for parental rights. Remember, liberty is generational, and as a result of all of our rights stand on the foundation of family freedoms. Now I want to add, my family has seen the activist courts. I have 5 children. They are mine. Their biological mother, due to a severe mental illness, lost custody of them in an Oklahoma child welfare case. I moved to Arkansas, got remarried, permitted a stepmother to do a stepmother adoption. I had a prenuptial agreement that is illegal binding in the state of Oklahoma that should have been honored here. But I would get custody of the children if she ever adopted them, if we ever divorced. But an activist judges, has actually violated that prenuptial agreement, separated my family, and placed 3 of the children with her. After more than 3 years now of legal battles back and forth, heard numerous violations of the visitation orders. The 2 children with me do not get to see the other children. I do not have visitation of the other children. Why? Well, they said because of my numerous online postings, my activism for parental rights and against child welfare and against child abuse. The now former director of DCFS of Arkansas, Cecile Blucher, used her position and power to quash an investigation into my ex-wife, the adoptive stepmother, where all 5 children, 5, in interviews, and I have the documents, said she was an abusive person. The oldest actually said it was her own fault that Mama slapped me across the face. No child should have to take the blame for an abusive parent. I divorced her because she beat the crap out of my then 7-year-old daughter in front of me. I filed a police report. They did nothing. I filed a complaint with child welfare. They did nothing. And the judge ignored her own admission of abusing this child and gave her custody of my baby. It's now been well over a year since I've seen them, in direct violation of my rights as a parent and their rights as a child. With them screaming they wanted to live with daddy, they were taken from my arms and given to the abusive adoptive stepmother. One of the reasons I am running for Arkansas House District 9 is to fight this injustice. The injustices the system does to numerous families. And it's not just Drew County. It's not just Southeast Arkansas. It's all over the state. The House Stanley family. Children taken in the dark of night at gunpoint of a SWAT team and child welfare and the Arkansas State Police. Only to be determined 4.5 months later that the parents had done nothing wrong. I've sat with tears in my eyes listening to the parents and the grandparents testify to the Joint Performance Review Committee. For years, since 2012, our own state rep, Sheila Lampkin, has done nothing. No return phone calls, no checks with child welfare, nothing to help my children or anybody else's we've heard of. It is time to replace her. It is time to put a parent with a heart in the state house. Someone that has pledged to support a parental rights bill in the Arkansas State House. And I do pledge to support and sponsor such a bill. This can be done very quickly at the beginning of the 2017 session if I'm elected. I will be looking for others to co-sponsor that bill so that we can have it ready. ParentalRights.org is sending me a template for a bill that we can use. A few states have already passed this. Attorney Joe Churchwell begged the governor in an open letter to hold a special session to deal with this issue and other issues dealing with the rights of children and their parents. But our Republican governor, who I do respect, we find ourselves, this is one of two issues that him and I disagree on. Only two that I know of. The issues of child welfare and emergencies of child welfare, child rights in Arkansas, and Arkansas Works. We have a presumptive nominee for president who a few years ago said it takes a village to raise a child. I disagree. And anyone who would support, endorse Hillary Clinton, and that includes my opponent, Sheila Lampkin, and her pledge to the Democratic Party when she filed for re-election is her support of the Democrat nominee, Hillary Clinton. It does not take a village to raise a child. It takes a parent to raise a child. It takes grandparents to raise a child. It takes their church. It does not take the government. The government has no place in child rearing. And our rights as a parent need to be upheld. I challenge Representative Lampkin to pledge support of a parental rights bill. That would go against her Democratic pledge that it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a loving, caring parent, one that won't abuse that child, one that won't harm that child in any way, one that will love and care for that child, to raise that child in the way that they should go, so that when they are old, they will not depart from it. It takes a parent. And it is said in the United States of America, with our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and the Arkansas Constitution, that we must have a parent's Bill of Rights. But that is what Attorney Joe Churchwell begged the governor in an open letter that he read before the Arkansas's Joint Performance Review Committee hearing. That we need parental rights in Arkansas. We need something that judges must follow, must abide to, or lose their bench. We have activist judges that decide the welfare of our children, not based on love, based on money, based on position in the community. When an abusive school teacher beats a child in front of witnesses and 2 doctors call the referral in, and everyone, including her, admits she did it, retains custody of her adoptive child, her adoptive stepchild, And the birth father who has never, ever been found guilty of harming a child cannot even see that child. That is, in and of itself, child abuse. It's called parental alienation. And I pledge that I will sponsor a bill to make parental alienation in Arkansas a crime, to uphold a parent's rights. Please support my campaign. Go to Hall for House 9. Excuse me. Go to hallforhouse9.weebly.com. Thank you. God bless you.